What's going on, guys? It's Colin here for NextGenTactics, and I'm bringing you a bit of Rush Attack on Atacama Desert. Now, the reason I picked this gameplay wasn't because it was a super amazing game, but because I'm actually flying around as the gunner in the attack helicopter. So, as we attack this first base, I'm just I'm attempting to spot a lot of enemies, and for some reason it wasn't working, so I would just shoot them instead. But basically what I wanted to talk about was kill streaks in video games for online first-person shooters, and when they have their place and when I think they don't. Because in some recent videos where I've been talking about Battlefield 3, there's been speculation that they were going to implement, that they might implement something like a score chain reward that they had in Medal of Honor. And I wanted to talk a bit about that. Now, in Medal of Honor, you have a number of different options. You have offensive and defensive score chains. The defensive score chains basically help out you and the rest of your team. The offensive ones are like airstrikes, mortar strikes, missiles, that sort of thing. And that's fine. And in a game where you basically don't have built-in air support, I think that works out okay. And the way that they implemented it in Medal of Honor, you got points towards these different things by completing objectives and getting kills. And in Homefront recently, they kind of modified that in that you racked up battle points so that you didn't have to even stay alive to basically purchase your rewards with battle points, which I think is cool. I think it encourages players to play objectively, not worry about camping out for kills, and they don't have to behave badly in order to preserve their precious kill streak. But in a game like Battlefield, like even Bad Company 2, and then when you look at Battlefield 3, which is going to be larger with more vehicles in all likelihood, I don't think that kill streaks that are lethal, that are air support and that sort of thing, I don't think they belong in that game, because you have air support, you have tanks, you have that sort of thing, and the computer doesn't help you out. I mean, you're going to have to team up with someone else. They're going to have to fly the chopper, you're going to gun in the chopper, and you keep getting these things over and over again until somebody manages to take you down, which an engineer with a really nice AT-4 shot's about to, and stranding us out in the middle of the desert. And that's it for me flying around in a chopper, so from now on I'll be on foot. But anyway, if you look at the way that it was done in Medal of Honor, that was pretty good, and I think that they did it even a little bit better in Homefront. But what I don't like about Homefront is later on in the game it just becomes a mess of vehicles. So I mean, towards the end, it becomes a little bit vehicle friendly, but that's okay. But what I really wanted to talk about was just the implementation of kill streaks or rewards in a game like Battlefield. I don't think necessarily it belongs, and if they do something like that in order to appeal to a wider audience, I hope that they make it fairly innocuous. Maybe help you out with some body armor or something like that, like something that doesn't have a huge impact on the game. Because when you look at Medal of Honor and where kill streaks build towards other kill streaks, like if you could get one of the first couple of levels of kill streak and then just start dropping air support on their spawn, then you would wind up getting the very high level kill streaks in no time flat. Or even going back to something like COD 4, where if you earned one chopper, you could basically wait to die, call that in, and just sit calling in chopper after chopper. So I don't like the idea of kill streaks building towards other kill streaks, which is something that I think was done quite well in Black Ops. But in a game like Battlefield, where it's less of an arcadey shooter, I don't want to see kill streak rewards or score chain rewards or anything at all. And so I'm interested to get your guys' take on kill streaks, or those types of reward systems. So it might not exactly be a kill streak. It might be the battle point system in Homefront. It might be the score chain implementation in Medal of Honor. Personally, I think that the score chain system was pretty good in Medal of Honor. I think that the defensive score chains added just a little bit too much towards the next level of score chain, so that you could move your way up pretty quickly. But once I think they made some adjustments to that, so it became quite tough to get a cruise missile at the end of sort of the development cycle of the game. And in Homefront, with the battle point system, I think that that's a pretty good concept as well. But I also think that some of the higher level rewards should require more points, and I don't know how they balance that out. But anyway, those are just my thoughts on it. And again, interested to hear what you guys think. And I've cut out some parts of this gameplay. I think it started out as like a 6-on-6 game, and then it goes up to, I think it's like only like 8v9 at the end. We have 8 on our team and 9 on theirs. But you know, I'm using my engineer kit. I only use me ump because I was trying to platinum that weapon, which I finally finished last night. And so why don't I also talk a little bit, because the gameplay is not terribly interesting, about kit selection and, you know, what I like to use. And when I'm playing on Rush Attack, I'm typically not the medic. There's other people on the team that will run the medic kit, so I'll usually run one of two setups on Rush Attack, and I will run either an assault kit or an engineer kit, depending on the base and depending on what we're doing. And on a map like Atacama with the engineer kit, an all kits weapon like the M14 or the G3, probably a better choice for me, but because I'm trying to rank up the UMP, that's what I'm using. And in a recent video, somebody criticized my use of Magnum ammunition on the engineer kit, and that was on an attacking game on Valparaiso. And I have obviously I always accept criticism, and I'll always have a dialogue about it, unless you act like a jackass, in which case I'm not going to engage you in a conversation. But what he was saying was that I was bad at the game because I was using Magnum ammo on my engineer kit. And when you're attacking, the engineer kit it's reasonably versatile because it gives you a silenced weapon, and I like to flank, so it gives me the ability to sneak into the enemy base and, you know, flank behind the objectives without being detected, and I think that that's very powerful. So on a map like Valparaiso, where you don't have any defensive vehicles to deal with, well, I don't need to run improved demolitions to blow up vehicles because there are none, but I still think that a silenced SMG is an excellent weapon choice depending on how you intend to play the game. So I will, on attack, run one of two setups. As I said, I'll either run assault with a mixture of different attachments based on the situation. And some people have asked me, you know, what's your favorite attachment on the assault kit? I prefer the 40mm shotgun just because it's a ton of fun to use, but it's not always the right attachment, and you always want to try and pick the right tool for the job. If I'm running engineer kit, I'll pick the ammo upgrade so that I can lay down, you know, put a lot of lead down range with the SMGs, you know, and also when you're shooting longer ranges, it takes more ammo. I will run, I am running the RPG here just because I'm working on that, but well, in this final base, there's enemy tanks to deal with. It does better damage against armored vehicles than the Gustav. So if you are trying to focus on tanks and infantry, then I normally would favor the RPG. If you are only going to be dealing with infantry and busting them out from behind cover, then I would go with the Gustav. And if you just directly use the Gustav against infantry out in the open, typically you'll get hate mail for that. So beware. It's seen as a newbie move, and people don't like it very much. But here I am using the RPG. And if I'm running the assault kit, you know, if we're on a tough base in the open, I'll run the smoke launcher. If we have to get into tight quarters, I'll run the 40mm shotgun. And you know, if I have to open up an objective, then I'll run the 40mm grenades. Don't be afraid to switch up your kits throughout the game. I think a lot of people will grab a kit and they'll kind of stick with it. But, you know, as the situation changes, then feel free to change your kit loadout. That's one great thing that I found about Bad Company 2. You can go in and change what you're running at any given point. You never have to go in before the game and customize some kits and figure out what you want to use. You always have free reign to go pick whatever you want, whenever you want, and I think that that's awesome. So, you know, don't be afraid to mix it up. Take advantage of that, and if something isn't getting the job done, then switch it up. And I don't switch kits in this game. I don't find that I have the need. I do pretty well with the engineer kit. I probably could have gotten a few more kills if I was running an assault rifle, or right here I think that that's an enemy, not a tank, and I'm going to try and shoot him with the Rex. But you know, could have done probably better with the M14 or G3, but I like the UMP, great gun. And yeah, so don't be afraid to mix it up, and I will do a video soon with you know, particular kit selections that I like to use, and I'm also going to bring you some shotgun slug gameplay. So hope you enjoyed. We'll talk soon.
Hey guys, we now have our own website. Actually, we've always had our own website, but why not follow us on there? There you'll find all our videos conveniently sorted into playlists by game, as well as videos from many other directors that are part of our NGT network.